It's Weekly Weird News, and it's going to be a shorter one because I'm pretty tired from doing double duty last night, celebrating both Halloween and the Dodgers remaining in the World Series.
Now, by the time you watch this episode, one team will have to won, so...
But first and foremost, we want to thank everyone who donated to our fundraiser for Feeding America. We hit our fundraising goal within just a few hours of launch.
Which is always, every time, it blows me away how incredible all of you are that I have to go in and immediately change the goal, which, just amazing. You're wonderful people.
And that's money that's going to be put to great use at food banks across the U.S. at a time when food insecurity is a real problem for a lot of Americans, whether they are federal government employees who haven't been paid in a month due to the shutdown, or SNAP recipients who are worried about being cut off due to the shutdown, or just folks just struggling to get by at a time when everything is expensive as hell.
Yeah, lots of desperate parents out there doing twice the rounds on the Halloween candy last night, stocking up for the month of
Why don't you grab a little bit more while you're down?
Well, with internet today in the world, you don't have to worry as much because our viewers love to contribute and help out. And I know this isn't going to feed everyone, but god damn, it feels good to help.
No, it's feeding America. That's
right.
So you're welcome, America. Yeah. But thank you to everyone who donated. And we do actually have some potentially good news for the folks on SNAP benefits. And it's the sort of thing that we normally wouldn't have to qualify with potentially, but the Trump administration has a habit of kind of just ignoring things that federal judges tell them to do.
Even if they don't ignore them, it was a last minute effort to try and save this. And there's just, the money for it just doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't know if you check the calendar. It's November already. Yeah. So here's NBC News.
A Rhode Island federal judge on Friday ordered the U.S. Department of Agriculture to distribute money owed to recipients of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program as soon as possible, just one day before funding for SNAP was set to lapse. U.S. District Judge John McConnell's ruling from the bench came shortly after another federal judge in a separate case said that the Trump administration's plan not to pay out SNAP benefits beginning on November 1st due to the ongoing federal government shutdown was unlawful, but stopped short of ordering the Trump administration to disperse funds. Ruling in favor of a group of cities and community organizations that sued over the cuts, McConnell said that the USDA must fund SNAP using money in a contingency fund. But he added that if the department finds that the money in the contingency fund is insufficient, then the agency must use other funding sources to make those payments.
Basically, you've got the fucking money. Stop pretending you don't.
And if you run out of it, you better find it because we know that it exists. But just at a base level, the fact that federal judges have to step in and force the current president to make sure that people in our country don't starve to death.
Like 10% of the population.
Is sickening and should be. It's very offensive to everyone's morality, but it continues.
There is no doubt that the $6 billion in contingency funds are appropriated funds that are without a doubt necessary to carry out the program's operation, McConnell said in his oral ruling. The shutdown of the government through funding doesn't do away with SNAP. It just does away with the funding for it. There could be no greater necessity than the prohibition across the board of funds for the program's operations. McConnell added, there is no doubt, and it is beyond argument, that irreparable harm will begin to occur if it hasn't already occurred in the terror it has caused some people about the availability of funding for food for their family.
Yeah,
but like we said, the Trump administration, they're already indicating that they see this ruling as unlawful and they're going to fight it. So
again, I hate being like alarmist or whatever, but this does work in the Trump administration's favor because when people get extremely desperate and start stealing and committing crimes, that will give the Trump administration a hell of a lot of justification that they're intentionally looking to do more of the National Guard stuff.
There's all that looting we were looking for.
They weren't getting, I guess, a big enough, violent enough response from people who were defending their friends and neighbors from federal agents disappearing them. This is something that, this will cause civil unrest. There's no doubt about it.
People gotta eat.
Yeah.
So, it seems pretty clear that they wanted SNAP benefits to lapse so that they could blame the Democrats for it. Like, oh, geez, you'd all be not starving right now if only those pesky Democrats would
They never want to give anyone anything.
But now the tables have kind of turned, and if people don't get their SNAP benefits, now it's because the Trump administration directly disobeyed an order from a federal judge.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're going to, spin that in their favor.
They will, but it's a lot of our unfortunate tasks to not let them do that. And it seems as though, based on polling, that the American people realize that this is the fault of the GOP. Not that we can really do much about it. But yeah. But we are just a couple days away from this being the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, surpassing the previous record from Trump's first term. And while you can certainly nitpick about who's actually funding the current White House remodel, it's still a pretty bad look to be doing one of the biggest and most expensive White House renovations ever at a time when nearly 1 million federal workers have been furloughed and over 42 million people don't know how they're going to eat this month. The White House renovation is bad for other reasons too, though. First off, seeing the rapid, unscheduled disassembly of a huge section of the most iconic building in U.S. politics is it's visually a great metaphor for the administration, of course.
Yeah.
And there's also some pretty valid concerns about just how quickly this whole renovation has been moving. Normally, a construction project this big requires quite a lot of oversight to ensure that everything is up to code and done properly. And obviously, from a historical preservationist standpoint, you'd want a bit more care to be taken when tearing down such an old, important, iconic, historic building. But there's also a very practical concern that anyone who's ever renovated an old building should be familiar with. We used to put a lot of very toxic shit in our buildings. And it's bad to just tear that stuff down and let it go everywhere. You should make sure that the poisonous dust cloud is hampered a little bit in the process. And it does take a lot of planning and work. And when you just rush things, problems are going to arise. Here's ABC News.
Days after the abrupt demolition of the East Wing of the White House, critics are questioning whether the Trump administration and contractors involved in raising the historic structure adhered to federal health and safety standards, including those governing the handling of hazardous materials like asbestos, a dangerous and potentially deadly substance widely used during the period of the East Wing's original construction. On Thursday, Senator Edward Markey, Democrat of Massachusetts, penned a letter to executives at the firm responsible for the demolition, seeking evidence that the company complied with regulations dictating the safe removal of asbestos and lead, or if, instead, they cut corners and gambled with people's health. The demolition of a structure of the age and historic national significance of the East Wing demands the highest possible standards of care, not the lowest bid and a blind eye toward regulation, Markey wrote to leaders of ACECO, a Maryland-based demolition contractor.
I would say that turning the blind eye to regulations is the GOP's thing in general, but specifically the Trump administration. I guarantee you that the person who the company that put the bid in that would look away from regulations the most probably got the contract.
One of my favorite, one of the funniest Joe Rogan clips I've ever seen is he's got I think Dave Rubin's on there, and they're sort of riffing on being just dumb conservatives, and but then Dave Rubin starts complaining about OSHA and shit like that, and Joe Rogan's like, whoa, hold on, no, actually that stuff's good. You really don't want people just building and demolishing things without going up to code. That's how people get fucking killed.
Yeah.
So it's even for a guy like Joe Rogan, that's a bridge too far. It's no, it's good that we have regulations on construction and demolition.
And I'd like to thank whoever made those crude CGI recreation videos of workplace disasters, because that's probably the videos that Joe Rogan saw, where a guy gets, the CG version gets pulled into mechanical machinery.
Yeah, those are wild.
And those are based off of real, actual, OSHA write-ups.
Well, a lot of them are based off of shit that happened in China.
Yeah.
Where they
don't have
They
that.
build really fast, but they cut a lot of corners. And
that's what happened.
The cost of doing business that way is a lot of fucking people die on work sites.
How much could a human life cost, Mr. Rogan? $10? We're all in, baby. It's the All In podcast with David Sachs.
Sure.
It continues. The senator's overture comes days after the nation's largest asbestos victims organization raised alarms about whether the White House may have deviated from accepted practices for handling these materials. Federal law requires comprehensive asbestos inspection, notification, and abatement before any demolition, wrote the Asbestos Disease Awareness Organization, ADAO, last week. No publicly available information demonstrates that these statutory obligations have been fulfilled. Although White House officials would not say whether asbestos existed in the building, some experts suggest that its age and the era of its construction mean that it likely had the presence of the fiber. Originally completed in 1800, the building underwent major renovations in the 1940s and 50s at the peak of asbestos use in buildings.
Yeah, they were putting it in fucking everything back then. They're like, wow, what an amazing substance we've come across in these caves.
Nothing bad will happen.
It fireproofs. it insulates, it does everything.
Let's put it in every public school.
What's that? Is that just a horrifying cough I'm hearing from my workers? Well, never mind that. I'm sure it's just a little cold that you've picked up. Just a little flu bug and not mesothelioma. If you or a loved one has been affected by mesothelioma, call this number.
The middle of the 1900s, it's like Prometheus bringing fire to the humans. Bringing asbestos and plastic to humans was arguably one of the worst things that ever happened.
Asbestos and everything, lead and everything.
Plastic.
Inventing plastic.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's a little bit earlier, but all the stuff with nuclear, before they figured out, you can't just...
Yeah.
It's not just magical, it's actually highly dangerous.
That's right. Well,
we love discovering some new wonderful thing and just saying fuck it, and then letting our descendants deal with the consequences of it.
I said it on a previous video this week that like America's slogan is just like, well,
fix it in post.
If we haven't tried it yet, we should, even if it goes bad.
Not my problem.
Exactly.
My grandkids will figure it out. And surely there are no parallels here to what's currently happening with like artificial intelligence.
Sure.
Or, of course, climate change, where...
Well, we don't know if it's going to be if it's going to destroy the Earth because we haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
So.
The White House, they're claiming that they did all the proper hazardous material abatement back in September. They just never kept any public records about it or even told anyone about it until now when they were asked about it. Yeah. Which seems like it might be a lie, especially considering that you would have seen workers in hazmat suits around the White House during the demolition if that were true.
Yeah.
And didn't see that. But no, it seems like a very high possibility that demolition workers and people in and around the White House were exposed to asbestos. A whole lot of it over the past few weeks, which everyone knows from the ads on the TV leads to mesothelioma, which is a pretty aggressive and deadly cancer of the lungs. Asbestos is so dangerous that even brief exposure to it can really mess you up long term. You breathe in a single fiber of asbestos and it shreds you. It's just there forever, cutting you up day by day. Putting asbestos in so many buildings before fully understanding the health risks is a world historic mistake that we are still dealing with generations later.
Yeah.
It's a big reason why in a lot of places we're saying we should tear down like all these old houses and build like apartments. And they're like, well, I don't know, the abatement's going to be fucking expensive as hell. I don't want to do it. We have it around here.
There's an old jail.
Yeah, the old jail is just like...
It's sitting in a prime spot.
Big piece of land, prime location, but like it's just full of lead and asbestos and nobody wants to take on the job because it'll cost us so much in abatement that we won't see profits.
It's also right along a waterway too. So it's like extra, everything is bad with that problem.
Yeah.
It just sucks. And there's like I get it, but there's also like a weird historical preservation aspect to it. But
yeah, I don't know. I think LA is a little too precious with its historic preservation in a lot of cases. Like there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, yeah, that should stick around. But like, I also see a lot of stuff where like, oh my God, they're going to tear down like the absolutely hideous home that some actor lived in 80 years ago. And I'm like,
I got a little less precious. Like when I went to France a decade ago and I stayed in an Airbnb that was older than our entire country, I was just like, you know what?
Yeah.
There's some things that are great, but others can, change with the times.
But yeah, so it's really no surprise, though, that Trump would be so nonchalant about asbestos. Bringing asbestos back has been like a weird little obsession of his dating back to his real estate days. At one point, in a book, he claimed that the risks of asbestos, that was all just a big hoax by the mafia because they were getting all the contracts to remove it.
Yeah.
It was just a big scam by the mafia in the northeastern United States. And somehow the entire rest of the world also played along. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Also, just this year, he was trying to reverse a Biden administration policy that would have fully banned the one remaining type of asbestos that's still in use. No, we got to
get rid of it. Everything is explained by the fact that Donald Trump was a real estate guy, construction guy, who had to face all of these regulatory hurdles and was so angry that much like a piece of asbestos, it has sat and just torn him up inside for 60, 70 years. And he's like, finally, I'm going to do things my way, the wrong way.
Yeah, he's made so many comments about asbestos over the years. It is a obsession of his.
Yeah.
That's very strange. Like, he seems to just completely discount the idea of mesothelioma in a way that makes me think he thinks they're all faking it too.
Yeah,
it's
because it's a cheap and effective building material that he wasn't allowed to use.
It works great.
That I'm telling you, that's why. Like,
yeah.
Anyways, before the asbestos issue came up, this renovation was already very unpopular with the public. And even Trump supporters are at best pretty lukewarm about it, which means they don't like it, but they're having to come up with excuses for it. Here's CNN. New Yahoo News, YouGov, and Washington Post ABC News polls are the first quality surveys to dig into the ballroom saga in depth, and both show similar things. The former shows Americans disapproved of Trump's demolition of the East Wing, 57% to 26%, his plans for replacing it with a 90,000 square foot ballroom, 61% to 25%, and his broader handling of the situation, 55% to 28%, all by around a 2-to-1 margin.
Is that bad?
The latter shows Americans also oppose the broader project by a 2-to-1 margin, 56% to 28%. Even Trump's supporters aren't defending him too hard. For instance, just 55% of Republicans in the Yahoo poll approved of both demolishing the East Wing and building a ballroom. That's compared to 94% of Democrats who disapproved of both. Around 1/4 of Republicans disapproved on both counts. Indeed, the passion on this issue seems to be very much on the anti-side. In both polls, the percentage strongly opposed to the project far outpaced the percentage strongly in favor, 46% to 18% in the Yahoo poll and 45% to 15% in the Post ABC poll. In both surveys, about half of independents strongly opposed it.
So clearly a winning issue, and he should talk about it and bring it up as much as possible.
It's a fine issue for Democrats to run on because it's such a visual gash in the country. It is just Again, it's the perfect metaphor for what's happening.
Yeah, it's like this in and of itself, like it's bad, but it's clearly not even close to the worst thing.
I really don't care too much about this, honestly, compared to everything else that's going on. But
it's a great, it's a microcosm of a much larger problem where he sees this country and this government as just something he owns and can do with as he pleases.
It's like the first 6 months of the administration when I'm fucking screaming my head off about the shit that's happening. And then in mid-July, the Epstein stuff happens. And I'm like, okay, well, if this is what people are angry at, if this is what it takes, then sure. But I just spent 5 months screaming about people getting snatched out of their fucking homes.
Yeah.
But sure, I guess, fine.
I mean, it's all, nothing is a distraction from anything else. It's all bad.
No. I'm not saying it's a distraction. I'm saying this is marketing to the American people. They see this and they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, on top of everything that we've already discussed, one of the main reasons that so many people are so put off by this is that Trump just has notoriously bad taste.
Yeah, it's gaudy.
Look at every building he's ever constructed, every home he's ever lived in. And when this is all over, we're going to be stuck with a potentially hideous monstrosity on the White House grounds for the foreseeable future. However many years this country has left in it.
Sure.
CG renders released by the White House showing the interior of the new ballroom are blindingly tacky, and a separate mini renovation in the main White House building this week is being called a crime against interior design. Here's the Lincoln bathroom before. It's an early 20th century Art Deco style. It just looks like a pretty modest and well-preserved historical bathroom. One of 35 bathrooms in the main White House residence. But on Friday, Trump revealed via Truth Social, I renovated the Lincoln bathroom in the White House. It was renovated in the 1940s in an Art Deco green tile style, which was totally inappropriate for the Lincoln era. I did it in black and white polished statuary marble. This was very appropriate for the time of Abraham Lincoln, and in fact, could be the marble that was originally there.
Shut up, Mr. Trump.
And, that definitely looks like a place that Abraham Lincoln would have spent any time in. Mm-hmm. When I see that bathroom, I'm like, 1860s America. Yep.
Trump provided dozens more photos showing the new version of the bathroom, which just screams more money than taste. I mean, blinding is the literal term. You walk in, and one drop of stray water on the floor of this bathroom, and you're slipping and sliding all over the place.
Yeah, it breaks a lot of really basic interior design rules.
Regulations? What are those?
We need regulations for taste.
Get that disgusting handicap bar off the wall next to the toilet.
Whoop! Yeah, this room does look very slippery. I don't think anyone even fucking uses this bathroom, but if they did, I'd be careful.
In order to test the safety of this bathroom, they need to send that cop from Boston in there with his suit on to see how many times he bounces around in it. But yes, it is painful to look at, both emotionally and physically.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all marble everything, with some gold accents here or there. It's loud as hell. It's basically real-life AI slop, the kind of result you'd get if you asked Midjourney to design a fancy bathroom for you and just kept telling it to add more marble, which also might be what happened. But it's not just tacky, it's also ridiculous to claim that this at all resembles a bathroom from the Lincoln era, when bathrooms barely even existed, and the ones that did hardly resembled our modern conception of what a bathroom is. Sure, it's hard to picture Abraham Lincoln taking a dump in that green 1940s Art Deco bathroom, but acting like this McMansion abomination is more historically accurate to what Lincoln would have been using in the 1860s is idiotic. He would have blown his own brains out.
Yeah. Yeah. It would have given him a big old headache.
This looks like a bathroom that was built into a McMansion in Houston, Texas in 2004.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it looks like the presidential suite, the honeymoon suite at like the Trump Hotel in fucking Chicago or some shit. Like it just does not scream White House or
No.
It just is completely out of place. And like this kind of reminds me of one aspect of the slopification of the internet that really sucks that we haven't really talked about is Pinterest is utterly useless now.
Yeah.
Like I got into Pinterest a few years back, mostly looking at like architectural, like interior design stuff. Mm-hmm. For my house, because my house is old and I'm like, I need references if I ever want to do anything for it. And it just now, anytime you search for fucking anything, it's just AI slop renders.
Yeah.
Like I want to see actual historical drawings and photographs.
Head down to the library, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. And it's just been drowned out by shit like this. And it's just so, the bathroom looks like real life AI slop. Mm. That's the only way to really explain it succinctly.
That's how the world is going to look. So get ready for
Slop world.
Yeah. Anyways, maybe the only way to make that bathroom even more tacky than it already is would be to install a perfect gold toilet.
Solid.
Hey, great news though. There's actually a solid gold toilet going on sale soon. What a coincidence. Technically, it is art and supposed to be some sort of social commentary, but it's also a functional toilet that you can sit on and shit into. And for several $1 million, it can be yours to own and do with as you please, which I would assume would be shitting into.
Yeah.
Here's the Wall Street Journal. An artist sculpted a toilet out of 223 pounds of gold, a weight valued at about $10 million in current gold markets. Sotheby's is betting it can auction off the golden bowl for even more. The 18-karat toilet was created by Maurizio Catalan, the same impish artist behind last year's $6.2 million duct tape banana. That was just last year?
Well, last year it sold.
Oh,
okay. It debuted like 6 years ago.
Okay, so. Yeah. Next month, the auction house will set its starting bid for Catalan's fully functioning toilet at the $10 million mark, or whatever the daily rate in gold markets would be for a 101.2 kilogram chunk on the day of sale, November 18th. But watch this throne! Sotheby's expects it to serve as a rare and wry test of art's appeal beyond its material worth as a precious metal. Cryptocurrency will also be accepted.
Of course it will.
Absolutely.
This is a crypto trader's dream purchase.
This toilet, they had a gold toilet at the Guggenheim for a while, and someone did poop in it,
this
right?
This is the same one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was on display at the Guggenheim in the bathroom, and you could go in. I think you got like 5 minutes before they start really like banging on the door, and they were listening to make sure no one was chipping away at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could go and spend some time with that toilet, and yeah, I mean like in that it's art.
I would have done an upper decker in it.
Like the object itself,
they would have never gotten rid of me.
The object itself is not art, but that application of it is art.
Yes.
Buying it for your own house, though, I think removes any of the art or commentary or conception behind it. I don't know. Anyway, this toilet, it also ties into some recent news that we've covered. A solid gold toilet is unsurprisingly going to attract the attention of thieves, and this toilet is actually a second edition, following the heist and disappearance of the first one. During its initial run at the Guggenheim, the piece was said to be worth about $2 million. 3 years later, the Guggenheim sent its commode to England's Blenheim Palace, where it was installed in Winston Churchill's wood-paneled bathroom. By that time, gold prices had climbed, and the piece was worth at least $4 million. One night in 2019, thieves wielding sledgehammers broke into Blenheim, ripped out the toilet, and fled with it, causing flooding issues at the 18th century home. Several men were later arrested for the crime. In March, 2 of the thieves were convicted of conspiracy to transfer criminal property. The piece, which earlier this year was valued at up to $6.3 million, was never recovered. The thieves likely melted it down and resold it, authorities said.
It's going to appear in the Lincoln bathroom, like just randomly. Not the second one. The first one will randomly appear.
Oh, I would bid on it, but I actually already have one.
I got one of my own. You should come check it out.
Sorry, what? You have?
Yeah, it was, I mean, say what you want about his disgusting Lincoln bathroom. I mean, this was in Churchill's bathroom, so maybe just leaders' bathrooms are unholy places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the title of this piece, aka the name of the toilet, is, of course, America. And a golden toilet is a pretty great visual metaphor for this country, just like a gaping hole in our White House.
Yeah.
Here's some sense of what he was going for conceptually. The artist initially intended to create 5 matching versions of his toilet, which he titled America, as a way to question which spaces in a museum get deemed sacred versus profane. Catalan said Thursday he wanted to put something shiny and expensive in an overlooked spot. In the end, we are all the same, he said, and we remember it right there, in the least noble and most necessary place. In other words, everybody poops, and who knows, in a month our president might just be pooping on a solid gold commode.
Tim Apple gave it to me as a gift. I had to have it.
It's the only toilet that doesn't give me the Poseidon's kiss.
And this toilet serves 2 functions. It lets me poop on it, but it also is a strategic gold reserve for our country.
That's right.
And we're going to put the toilet on the blockchain. That you can buy an NFT of the toilet and own part of the toilet. And it's...
And if you even have the thought in your head that this is one of those low flow jobs, get out. This thing could push through more billiard balls than you can even dream of.
We will be doing some adjustments of the toilet. We will be adding some jets.
Yeah.
I want that poop obliterated.
Nah, the Trump administration thinks bidets are gay. But Barron, bring more of those buckets of billiard balls in here and watch how many it can flush down.
Look at that.
Look at that. Takes them all.
Anyway, we got the headlines half of the show coming up.
I do want to point out really quick, though, that the government is currently shut down, correct? TSA agents and all this stuff, they're not getting paid. I just read it before I came in here, but it was a very good article about Nancy Mace having to go to the airport and requesting a police escort, showing up late, cursing out the police and the TSA agents and the TSA manager, and having all of them separately write up reports about their interactions with Nancy Mace, to the point where the TSA and, I guess, police officers were like, if this was a person who didn't have, like, government security clearance, they'd
be banned for life from flying on any airline.
She was apparently just, like, fucking made it everyone's problem that she was late.
That's pretty wild to, like, berate people who are literally...
not getting paid because of you.
Yeah, working for free because of you.
That's literally what entitlement looks like.
But yeah, we got the headlines coming up in a second. First, though, we got to let you know that this episode is sponsored by Squarespace.
Yeah.
Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, Squarespace gives you everything you need to claim your domain, showcase your offerings with a professional website, grow your brand, and get paid all in one place. With Squarespace, designing a website has never been easier. They've got a whole library of award-winning and professionally designed templates with options for every use and category, or you can now just answer a few quick questions about your industry, goals, and personality, and Squarespace will quickly generate options customized for exactly what you're doing. But every great website also needs a great domain, and Squarespace Domains makes it easy to find the best name for your business at one fair, all-inclusive price. No hidden fees or add-ons required. Every Squarespace domain comes with advanced privacy and security tools included to ensure your domain remains online and protected.
And once you've got your great website and great domain, you're going to want people to actually be able to find your website. And Squarespace's SEO tools help you get discovered fast. Every website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, an auto-generated sitemap, and more, so that you show up more often on search engines and bring in more of your ideal customers. They've even got built-in donation tools so you can fundraise directly on your website and grow your impact. Create a professional, on-brand website that makes it easy to accept one-time or recurring contributions and engage your supporters. Folks, if you need a website, Squarespace has you covered. Head to squarespace.com/weirdnews for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use offer code WEIRDNEWS to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That is squarespace.com/weirdnews, offer code WEIRDNEWS. And now, we are getting into the wildest, craziest, weirdest headlines from around the world this week, starting with a taste of freedom.
A retired policeman posted a Charlie Kirk meme. He spent a month in jail.
Which is awful, but he is free now, and apparently
He's back to posting.
he is a prolific poster.
Yeah, he was born to post.
He's been posting for a long time. He hit a snag with the Charlie Kirk stuff, and as soon as he got out, he was back to posting.
Yeah, this dude's an interesting character. Like, an ex-cop is like kind of last person you'd expect to be like the one blue dot in a sea of red.
It does happen though,
and not lay low about it. Be like just intentionally annoying as. Apparently, this dude just posts up a storm on all the local pages, like challenging. It's like 100 versus 1, and he's there for it every day. And he right when Charlie Kirk died, he posted a meme. That was basically, it was a quote from Trump after a school shooting where Trump's just like,
get over it.
At a certain point, you got to get over it. And it was like Trump in reference to shooting at such and such school. And the local sheriff was like, is he threatening to shoot up our local school? Because like the name of the school near them was kind of similar to the name from like an event that clearly took place in the past.
Yeah, it was happenstance.
Yeah, and they interpreted that as this guy is like actively threatening to do a mass shooting, which is not a stretch. And yeah, they jailed him for like a fucking month over this. It's so ridiculous. And like the sheriff, like he's interviewed by the local news, and they're like, "Wait, you didn't actually believe that's what he was saying?" He's like, "No, of course not. That's not what he was saying." But like, the public might have thought that that's what he meant. It's like, did you get any?
Okay, so did you have to hold him for a fucking month then?
Did anyone like the actual local school? They're like, we didn't receive a single like. This was not even on our fucking radar.
Ah.
So, yeah,
this guy goes to jail for posting a meme. Meanwhile, J.D. Vance gets lovingly caressed by Charlie Kirk's wife, and nothing. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. It is just a little weird. That's all. It's just a little weird.
Strange little saga.
Yeah. There's not enough there yet with him and Usha Vance where but he has been saying some weird shit recently.
Yeah, she is going to hell. My wife, the heathen,
refuses to conform to Christianity with me.
Yes, I am the father to several half-breed children.
The way he talks about her is strange. Is like, anyways, he got a hug. It was a weird hug.
It was quite getting in the hair.
I was trying to think back of like, that's just it's a flirty way to hug. That's all.
It's not a normal way to hug. Especially,
especially
for a married man, a married Christian man.
And technically a married woman. Well, a widowed woman, but like.
No, she's back on the market and she's dressing like it.
She's
wearing like leather, but she's wearing a.
It's just odd. It's just weird. I don't know. Like I don't want to critique how someone mourns, but like it just seems.
People were joking that like the pants she was wearing, which were like pleather or something, they're like it's couch cushion material.
That's right.
And that's why
I saw the joke that like if Usha's mad, she can't even make him sleep on the couch because he'd be willing to do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, next headline: veteran arrested after allegedly threatening to kill Trump, raise him from the dead, and kill him again over LGBT and immigration policies.
People are just straight up like incriminating themselves on Facebook these days in ways that are kind of fascinating. But yeah, this Air Force, I guess they're like non-binary or some shit, but yeah, rightfully, I think pissed off
upset,
about policies that directly affect them and people they care about. But just posting on Maine, just like, I'm gonna fucking kill him and then dig him up and kill him again.
It is going back to the Charlie Kirk thing. It is fascinating to see existing in a way more left-leaning circles and seeing how restrained people on, I would say, the left were about most of the very bad things you could have said on those following days. Where the fucking wine moms and libs were like, it was like, I couldn't believe what people were posting. I was just like.
You see Caitlin Bennett, the Kent State gun girl?
The one who shit her pants?
Yeah, on No King's Day, she was talking to like these 75-year-old like wine moms.
Yeah.
And she's just like, you think it's funny to like say that you're glad Charlie Kirk's dead? And she's like, I might be glad that you died. And she's like, what?
That's what I'm like.
Oh, calm down.
People are pissed off. And it's like,
she goes up to another wine mom. She's like, did you hear what she said? And he's like, no, what did she say? And she repeats it. And the lady just immediately starts cracking up.
It's like when they were doing the interviews after Margaret Thatcher died. And
yeah.
all the old people.
Oh, boo.
I'm just saying, it's like, it's very, I've noticed it. And I think that's maybe because like on the left, like things you say are policed way more aggressively. So you're like, wait, hold on. We'd get in jail for that. And like just normies are out there saying it, which, hey, look, You do what you're going to do.
I guess.
It's just a fascinating thing I've noticed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pressure builds on Prince Andrew to vacate mansion he rents for the nominal sum of a peppercorn.
Ooh, a peppercorn.
We got to abolish this fucking royalty shit. This is
Well-
he's been living in this like castle, and they're like, and because of some fucking contract they drafted 800 years ago, it's like, oh, you must back when like they
Spices were very valuable.
in the days of like the fucking Silk Road, like a single peppercorn, and that would be the rent to stay in this palace. And I don't know. They didn't say whether they still actually go through the gesture of that. I would like to think they would. Otherwise, they're breaking the fucking law.
Well, you'll be able to check because that peppercorn has been put on the blockchain. Mm-hmm. So you can track exactly where it is and who's in control of it. But the downfall's already happening. He's been stripped of his royal name.
Well, it's like every month, it's crazy. Like the man is. He's finished, but it's still every month something new comes out where they're like, oh yeah, he also had Harvey Weinstein over with Jeffrey
They're like,
Epstein.
oh, finally this is behind us. And then Prince Andrew, something awful comes out within weeks.
Yeah. So, yeah, they gotta get out of that house. Sorry,
Cursed.
buddy.
Cursed.
Sorry, buddy. Peppercorns don't work as currency here anymore.
Uh-huh. Ted Cruz says Marjorie Taylor Greene becoming very liberal should be ignored.
Oh, she's so liberal these days,
Yeah.
guys. It is funny that she does seem to be having, I wouldn't call it a political awakening, but she is like breaking with the Republicans on a number of, I mean, the biggest one was like, she called Gaza a genocide, I think maybe before even any Democrats did, which was nuts. She's very anti-Israel, though with people like her, you do have to maybe question the motivations behind that.
That's what you have to do with everything you say is the motivations. One of the best things that I saw as a description of why she's acting this way from someone who tried to rationalize it was that she is an example of what happens when you get a true believer.
Yeah.
She was full QAnon.
Yes.
And the goal for her was to stop the child-killing, child-sexing cabal.
Yes.
And the Jeffrey Epstein stuff in July legitimately shook her to her core. And people said that like that kind of revelation is one of the only things that breaks cult members.
Oh.
And so that it might have been her entire goal and her entire existence, the motivation for her being in the position she was in was to do this one thing, this QAnon thing.
Yeah.
And then to find out that she is not only like not able to do it, but kind of part of it is probably very
She was
shocking.
at like the Epstein victims press conference too. Yeah, it's
So I'm not saying that this is legitimate in any way and that she's not using it as some kind of political pawn to move her own career forward. I'm just saying the analysis that I've seen, if this was her actually being emotionally legitimate, that would be the excuse, is that she was so QAnon that it rocked her fucking world to find out that
it's also been some of the shutdown stuff. Like I can't remember the specifics, but she does seem to like at least acknowledge like, yeah, it's probably bad. Probably bad that people like aren't getting food stamps. Maybe we could work something out. Of course, she hates Mike Johnson, but she hates every speaker of the House.
Yeah.
What else?
Because they're all secretly gay.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why she does. Yeah.
She might be right about that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's going on The View this week. So
that'll be interesting.
Yeah. This furloughed IRS lawyer is living out his dream of being a hot dog vendor. Finally, I get the chance to follow my passions and sell hot dogs on the street instead of this bullshit job doing people's taxes and looking at taxes.
It's not all the way there, but it's so close to the heartwarming. All of these overworked teachers just pulled their time off so this one teacher could get chemotherapy. It's just like how do we polish the horrific economic downturn?
I mean, this guy seems like he's having fun with it. Like he does seem to have like a genuine sort of autistic passion for hot dogs, and he's like, well, not working right now. At least you got to stay busy. So he's selling hot dogs. The prices are outrageous.
Well, yeah,
and,
but this is the kind of guy you want investigating tax cheats.
Yeah,
this is a person who is passionate about what they're doing. Might have autism,
just a little bit,
just a tiny bit, and
like that hot dog kid on Instagram who sings Chappell Roan songs but changes the lyrics to hot dog lyrics. HOTDOGS hot dogs. And then he does a Pink Pony Club one about, that one's great. He just like shows up at events. He's like 8 or 9. He looks like the Yodel kid around that age. And he's just singing about hot dogs all the time on Instagram. I don't know why
Farmer Hot Dogs should hire him.
I don't know why they keep showing it to me, but
Hot dogs.
I get enjoyment out of
Farmer
it.
hot dogs.
Yodel. My hot dog has a first name. It's OSCAR.
Yeah, they need to bring that
has
back.
a second name. It's WEI.
Back when America was great.
MAYER.
You know, when America was great, we had a lot more jingles.
Yeah, but now the robots make the jingles.
Oh,
They're not good anymore. Yeah. Measles outbreak investigation in Utah blocked by patient who refuses to talk.
cool. This is like that TB outbreak up in Seattle or something, like Tacoma a few years back, where they're like, okay, we found the super spreader. We found patient 0. Hi, you clearly have measles. Would you please like at least talk to us so we can do contact tracing? Nope. No way. Get the fuck out of here. And they're like, okay, well, more people are going to get sick then. It'd be really helpful if you talk to us. You clearly have measles. We can see it on your skin. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. This is just
trying to put one of those microchips.
Trying to put a micro 5G in my brain.
Yeah.
And control me and control the weather.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to put this big delicious steak back onto the tray and push it back to the cafeteria.
Yeah, they gotta. they need a spoonful of sugar method with some of these people, I think.
Oh, I guess the patient 0 award is going back into the reserve case. Oh,
wait, is that award for me?
Well, it was. It's an award for people who love telling the truth and saving lives. Are you gonna be a big boy?
How about this? I'm gonna leave this marshmallow here on this table, and I'm gonna leave the room for 5 minutes.
If you have measles and you have talked to anyone within a 20-mile radius, that marshmallow better be here when I get back.
But if you don't eat the marshmallow, you get 2 marshmallows. So I don't know. Just think about it.
If I come back and that marshmallow is gone, you get loaded into a cannon and shot into the Pacific Ocean because we can't have you here.
Yeah, you gotta go.
You are breaking the social bonds. There's a contract.
There is.
Yeah.
Deaf woman survives being hit by plane. Crashed into her as she walked dog in California.
Well, these days with the FAA and all that, you can't walk your dog without getting hit by a plane.
I mean, it was a tiny plane. It fucked her up pretty bad.
Well, I think any size plane would fuck someone up.
Like, everyone around is just like, there's a plane coming. You're about to be hit by a plane. And she's just walking her dog. Or probably, I don't know. They probably don't whistle. But just walking the dog.
Oh, deaf people?
Yeah. Walking the dog just doesn't know anything that's happening, and then
it does
an airplane hits you.
It's not funny that she's deaf, but if you were writing a comedy, the fact that she is deaf and got hit by an airplane is like, it's pretty funny. I'm sorry, she survived.
Doesn't happen a lot, getting hit by a plane.
But when it does, the addition, the flourish of making them deaf is very funny. Yeah.
Woman knocked unconscious by duck while riding roller coaster, lawsuit claims.
Fabio did it.
Yeah, he was fine. No,
he got hit by a dove or something.
It was a big bird, but yeah, I believe he like had some fractures in his face.
Yeah, gave him a real bloody nose.
This was at a SeaWorld in Florida that I guess has roller coasters.
They all have roller coasters.
That doesn't seem very SeaWorld.
They all have roller coasters.
What? Why?
Because they had to get rid of the orcas.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
What's going to thrill the audience now?
Well, getting hit by a duck, apparently.
They charge you extra for that. You have to pay when you get off the ride.
Yeah.
That's a experience with nature that you will not forget.
Very few people have the pleasure of face planting into a duck and getting knocked unconscious.
And personal.
So you should be paying us, lady.
I'm sorry. Someone came to Orlando, Florida and didn't want to see beautiful animals and thrill rides?
You got up close and personal with some marine life at SeaWorld. It's a rare treat.
Yeah. Woman ordering medicine was delivered human fingers and arms instead, coroner says. Oh, wait, no, don't send that package out.
So fucking horrifying. Just like, oh, those pills that I need. This box is kind of big. I wonder how big the pills are. And you open up and there's just like human body parts.
Good prank. We all love Halloween.
They said to take 2 every day, so 2 fingers. I don't know what an arm counts as, but maybe that's taking case of emergency.
Like a bartender. 2 fingers of medicine, please.
Yeah, they, I guess in the medical shipping logistics industry, they got some packages mixed up. They put the labels on the wrong. Someone who was expecting some limbs Just got a package of pills.
Well, these better work.
What am I supposed to do with this shit? I ordered some fingers and arms.
Yeah, it better work. I've seen some crazy things in my day, but this statin that they sent me, well, I guess it better grow me back some toes.
Sure.
Yeah. Cyclist falls down 130-foot ravine in France. Survives 3 days by drinking wine he had in a shopping bag.
Oh, what a terrible situation I have found myself in.
Joke's on you. My job won't even know I'm gone. We get so much vacation time.
They're calling it the Frenchest man ever.
They're
like, yeah,
said he didn't have a cigarette.
Yeah, well, they didn't say anything about that. Maybe he did.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, they're like, yeah, he would have died. He would have starved to death down there. But the wine kept him going.
It would have starved to death if it wasn't for the perfectly packed bag of wine, celery, lettuce, a baguette, just everything sticking out of it perfectly.
I love the idea. Like, I'm picturing, I don't know if this was just a guy casually going back from doing some shopping, or I'm picturing a guy in
Tour de France,
full lycra, like aerodynamics, but also just got to have a couple bottles of wine back there just in case.
Yeah.
Emergency wine.
Mm-hmm. Fully aerodynamic except for the giant bottle of wine sticking out.
Yeah. Always have some wine just in case. You never want to think about what could happen, but when it does happen, you want that wine.
I'm going to call that a happy ending.
Yeah, sure.
He survived, had a great vacation. That's another good thing about America. You'll never, it's very rare to die mysteriously because within 1 day, work's wondering where you are.
Yeah.
We said no days off. I know we said unlimited days off, but we meant no days off.
No days.
Anyways, that is a happy ending. And now you get, you know what? Bad news. It's actually, you get 1 less hour of daylight now as a prize.
Did that happen already?
It happens tonight.
Oh,
or whenever you're watching this, it already happened. But
I hate it. It gets dark too early.
Too early. Yeah, the game's probably already happening while you watch this, but go Dodgers, and we'll see you next week. But please, if you can, make sure you donate to the Feeding America fundraiser. We're going to have it going till the 10th, try to get as much as we possibly can in order to send it out and get people fed. So thank you very much to everyone who did. If you can afford it, please do contribute. In the meantime, we have some awesome episodes for you to watch. We got 2 brand new ones for you to watch right here. If you could, on the way out, please leave a like, a comment, and make sure you're subscribed, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.